Behind the cape?
Sure. Take it away.
All right. So social media seems to be behind this new SZA and Keke Palmer movie that seems like Friday. Women's Friday.
It's exactly Friday. It is. That's exactly what it is. It's Women's Friday.
And where did SZA come from in this casting? I didn't know she was acting now. Did she ever have any other roles before this?
She's trying to get her Ice Cube on.
Okay. I mean, I'm not against it. I'm here for it. Issa Rae is producing it, from what I heard.
She is.
Okay. So, I mean, I'm not against it. I guess it seems like it came out of nowhere.
I wouldn't put, if that is, part of the reason why you're thinking the quality of it is going to be a certain way, I wouldn't put too much on that. Again, she's not pinning it. She's not behind the camera. She's just producing it. So, take that for what it is. But, I mean, she's her company, her production company is attached to it. So
I also feel like putting the expectations of it against Friday is a little much.
Well, but it's kind of hard not to when you make a movie that's exactly like Friday. You know
Sure,
what I mean? It just kind of is what it is.
But then I don't want my expectations to be, this is going to be as good as Friday.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. Friday as a franchise has a very, very, a very passionate cult following. I don't think Friday as a franchise reached the level of commercial success until Friday After Next.
No, I think next Friday.
Nothing to write home about though.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like we all got phones. $11 million budget, $59.8 million. It made at the box office. How much? 59.8.
It says 33.5 worldwide.
Ooh.
10 million budget, 33.5 box office.
Yeah, they spent more. They spent more and made more on next Friday. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Didn't expect that.
I didn't either. Seemed like there was a lot.
But I mean,
more
even
on.
at that, you're talking about your tops. I was thinking 60 million was probably Friday After Next. 60 million is most they got, and that was in next Friday. So, I'm not expecting it to do anything too crazy. Just that, I'm hoping that it's entertaining without the tropes, right? Obviously, the thing of them being broke, living in the projects, all that other stuff. I talked about this on the Pantheon. I would like to see it have some level of balance to where that's not the main part of the movie, the only thing that we're talking about, the only thing that we're trying to continuously highlight about it. Mm-hmm. So I think that'll be the one thing that the one thing I would challenge them as a production to do, from my consumer perspective. But
is that it's not a typical day in the life of a broke
black person? Yeah, we can do a little bit more than that in 2024.
I would agree with that. I'm excited to see that, even if it's not a Friday-esque movie to me, hopefully for the next generation it
might be
pick up something for them. So
for sure.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
For sure.
Okay, on to the next thing. Speaking of at least classics amongst the black community, Martin Lawrence is interested in doing a Blue Streak sequel.
Dog.
I'm here for it.
I love it.
I do feel like as of late, Martin, I don't know what's happened, but Martin Lawrence seems a little bit slower to the punch.
Yeah, I think he had a stroke.
I do too.
I think he had a stroke, and he's still trying to convince us that he didn't.
I do too.
But also, of all the Martin projects that I thought would get a sequel, Blue Streak wouldn't have been at the top of my list. I probably would have had. What's the movie he had with Danny DeVito?
What's the worst that can happen?
Yes, The Worst That Can Happen. I have that one.
Good movie.
I don't want to see any more Big Mama houses.
Sure.
We're doing Bad Boys still.
I wouldn't want to see a Black Knight too.
No?
I just feel like that movie was entirely Martin Lawrence, and I don't think he could do it.
I feel like he could morph that into a family film now. That guy grew up. He had a family. He's bringing his kids back to the theme park. They fall back into the same moat.
But that
it's
movie
an easy family film.
It would be, but it leans so heavily on just Martin Lawrence being the source of anything.
So let him do that, and he'd be a zany grandpa this time.
And Blue Streak is actually kind of that way too, but at least in some respects, there was Luke Wilson and Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
at times to kind of somewhat pick it up.
There was another movie. He got a cop hemmed up on some bogus assault charges, and it was like he was trying to swat a bee.
National Security.
There it is, National Security.
With Zahn.
I could do a National Security too.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Blue Streak was absolutely hilarious.
It was. I can't take it away.
And it's one of the movies that I could see a sequel for, but again, I think the writing for it is going to have to lend to the fact that he's not the same Martin Lawrence.
We'll see. We'll see.
We will have to see. And then you probably have to incorporate some other people into it to take the workload off of him being the entire movie. And I don't know if Chappelle is going to do it again. It's going to have to be somebody else.
Yeah.
You have to pay Chappelle a shit ton of money at this point to do it. So, I don't know.
That's a fact. No, that's a fact.
We'll see. Okay. John Wick. You know, they
Jay Wicker.
I feel like they have stories for days over at John Wick, and they just don't know what they want to do right now. Obviously, the ballerina is set to come out, but now they're in talks to make a prequel John Wick film, and it's going to be an anime film, which anime would work for John Wick. I think that would work.
I think you had it right the first time. I think they have so much opportunity to do stuff that they don't know what they really want to do.
I wholeheartedly believe that.
Because this seems a bit random. Now, will I watch it? Absolutely. And hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's good. But where did this come from?
I don't know where it came from, but I do think it could potentially work. Something that we all already knew and have talked ad nauseum about on this channel is Blade. And now it's being delayed indefinitely, which we all already knew. It's not even really news at this point. We're just kind of reporting it because it's official now.
Fam, what to say? There definitely will be more to say about this in Dubs and L's. However, dealing with it how it is now, there are so many things about this production from start to finish that tells me that they never really gave a damn about it and they only postured to care because it was Mahershala Ali and, you know, his reputation and whatnot. But there's so much about this that tells me that they didn't give a shit about this film at all. The fact that this film was announced in 2019, the fact that the budget that was earmarked for Blade is a fraction of what even the Acolyte got.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So if you're Disney, you have an Academy Award-winning actor who came and asked you to make this project for you, and you got Leslie Hetland. And somehow Leslie Hetland got her hands on close to $200 million to make that filth. And Blade has to deal with 50. Right? The amount of news that they've let slip out about this film, the kind of helter-skelter way that they've gone about hiring writers and directors, and how public all those dealings have been. The fact that Mahershala Ali's lawyer has come out and talked about how miserable and experienced this is, and there's no spin, right? Other than the bullshit ass article about him being happy and, you know, he's excited about the direction. What direction? What direction? Ain't no script. How can he possibly be happy about a direction and there is no direction?
And whatever script there was, they didn't like it.
And, anyways, the fact that his lawyer came out and talked about how bad of a experience has been working with Marvel, and there isn't immediately, you know, any type of Kevin Feige didn't do a fucking TikTok with Mahershala Ali, or but honestly, like, that lets me know that you hear what's going on, you're aware of it, and you're reacting, and you're trying to stay ahead of the narrative. Mm-hmm. They have let the negative news of Blade lead us all the way into the confirmation that it has been indefinitely delayed. And they want us to believe that Mahershala Ali is excited about it. It is... you can just add this to the list of disappointments, man.
Oh, for sure. And it's just like with Marvel seemingly declining in popularity, it was just so easy to do the thing. Just do the thing. You would get a win, an easy win. But no, you fucked this one up. That's probably one of the most disappointing parts about it.
Yeah, I don't really know. So you got Blade, you got T'Challa, you got race swapped Wonder Man, you got canceled Monica Rambeau project, you got Ironheart that was also announced in like 2019 or 2020 that we haven't even seen footage on, which seems like it's going to be another Trojan horse for, additional groups. This is not just a black project. This will be a project that has to share its representation or its spotlight or whatever you would like to call it with another group. It's seeming like.
And because
whereas other ethnic groups are not asked to do that when they get their quote unquote representation.
Sam Wilson,
right? The early reviews on that are not great. The test screenings are not going well.
Because you don't have T'Challa, Shuri.
Yeah, Shuri is getting replaced by either T'Child or another universe's Black Panther. Right? Like that is where we're at. So now it's hot potato for the mantle of Black Panther. And oh, by the way, now we're devaluing vibranium. Allegedly, according to the scoops. Allegedly, now vibranium is secondary to adamantium. We are flipping the Marvel lore on its head to devalue the most technologically advanced country in the world.
Isn't Cap's shield made of vibranium?
Fam, yes, literally.
So then, okay.
If you were trying to send the signal that Marvel, or if you were of the thinking that Marvel gave a shit in terms of the stuff that they preach about, trying to get underrepresented classes to the forefront and tell their stories, and it's horseshit. At least it is for us. I see the Jewish community able to put pressure on Marvel and get a Star David and a yarmulke on Mark Spector, right? I see, the LGBTQ community being represented in, a myriad of different fashions, right? Like everything from Fastos in the Eternals to Jesus. Now I'm drawing a goddamn blank. I said myriad, and now I got one example. I hate when that fucking shit happens. I was gonna say Wiccan, but I haven't watched Agatha to know if that is part of his story or not yet.
Yeah.
Obviously we have the very concerted effort there was to get women included in the last two phases of the MCU. It just feels like we had our moment in 2018 and we're supposed to ride off it forever. And that's what's expected. For them to play with our heroes, for them to reorganize their stories to best fit whatever agenda they want to go along with, whatever story they're trying to tell. Everybody from the Defenders is coming back except for Luke Cage. Like, think about that. Punisher's back, Daredevil's back, rumors of Iron Fist being included. Nothing about Luke Cage. Now, tell me, as you looked at the Defenders list, Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, Luke Cage. Tell me that in that lineup, Luke Cage is coming fourth. Fifth. No, fourth. Daredevil, Jessica, Iron Fist, Luke. Yeah, there you go. Tell me Luke Cage is coming in fourth.
Wait, Punisher?
Fifth. Punisher's not a Defender technically, but he was from that.
Sure.
From that universe. But Bernthal's back. So what am I supposed to think as a black consumer? Am I supposed to look at that landscape and be like, yeah, no, they see me as an equal part of this thing here. I am an equal viewership. They value my dollar as much as they value everyone else's. Yeah, is that what I'm supposed to see?
There's nothing.
Is that what I'm supposed to get from this? Like, this is the type of shit that has Bo DeMaio still being able to talk shit on Twitter. Because, I mean, he's right. He's right. All the while, you got one black executive there on the board, and we see what his influence has begotten.
Yeah.
So
absolutely nothing for us.
yeah, man. Again, more to come on that specifically for sure.
Perp says we're probably going to get a Buffy the Vampire Slayer remake before Blade.
Fam.
Felix says Mahershala is going to DC to be Martian Manhunter. Tony Robinson said Blade got shelved like a Plies album. And then Breck Warren says, I'm not going to trust anything on Cap 4 until I see it. Everybody was shitting on the Marvels and it was a decent movie.
Okay.
So Marvel is apparently interested in a Billie Eilish casting for Marvel. I don't know for what, but it seems like they're just chasing names at this point. Chasing any names, because it doesn't seem like a lot of actors are even giving a shit about being in a Marvel movie these days.
Fam, look, I get that celebrities have a way of like kind of energizing a project.
Mm-hmm.
I get that, certain faces are very good for marketing, even if they're not very good actors. Which I don't think Billie Eilish is. I think she's a decent actor.
I was gonna say she was good in that one joint we saw.
Yeah, what was it? Swarm. She was in Swarm.
Yeah.
My issue is this feels like a shoehorn because what do you look at? How do you look at Billie Eilish and what character do you come up with? Any character you put on the Billie Eilish is a force. There's not a character that looks like Billie Eilish enough. I think some people would reach and maybe say Rogue. I think some people would reach and say maybe Emma Frost because of her physical build. I think people would make those type of bad fan cast. And then at which point, what's the point?
Yeah, I don't want Billie Eilish to be Rogue, to be fair.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not what I want.
Think of, and I wouldn't want somebody much better to be Rogue. Just
I can do without that. Yeah. I can do without that altogether, honestly.
Breck says she's going to be Dazzler, and then Perp Minded said Black Cat.
Yeah, see, I feel like both of those are just like, yeah, maybe physically she can fit the bill, but then like it's going to take some convincing, demeanor-wise. She's not a very overtly sexual person, so Black Cat feels out. Much. Yeah, that one feels out. What was the other one?
Dazzler.
Maybe. Dazzler, I thought they liked Taylor Swift for that, but man.
Taylor Swift would be even crazier.
Yeah, I was about to say, do I want Billie Eilish or Taylor Swift to play Dazzler?
At least I've seen Billie Eilish act and it's serviceable. Taylor Swift, I've never seen act and I don't think she can.
Who knows?
I just feel like she can't.
That's hate. That's soft hate.
It is. I'll admit it. All right. Let's see. Oh, and then the Wiccan movie. They're gonna make a supposed movie off of Wiccan.
Movie or a TV show? TV show.
Was it a series?
Yeah, series.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll read it real quick.
Again, just like Agatha all along, who the hell asked for that? If it's true, it's a Marvel update. So take it with a grain of salt. But who the hell is asking for this? First of all, I don't even know who's watching Agatha anymore.
I don't know.
And secondly, why? Reason 46 why I know they don't give a shit about Blade. Why are we even talking about spending money on this and Blade's not done? Who's at the helm?
Kevin Feige.
Dog.
Blackheart 360 says Taylor Swift will just play herself as Dazzler. Yeah. Yep. Because she can't act that well, I'm assuming. All right. Joker 2 hit 200 million worldwide. Venom: The Last Dance hit 175.
Oh, I thought it was 200. That's terrible.
I saw 175.
That's awful.
Yeah. Yeah, Joker 2 being at 200 at this point is... What was the budget for it?
It had to have been close to 100 million.
So they're over the budget then.
Let's see.
Joker 2 budget was $200 million.
200 million?
So they're still not.
No, they're not there
they're
at
not
all.
breaking even.
No, not even close.
Yikes.
Not with marketing costs the way they are. There's no way.
Yikes.
So they would need to get it's like times 2+.
So 500 million?
And then on top of that, you have to account into what they spent marketing the film as well. So like ideally, if they spent 200 million, yeah, they want to be somewhere in the $500-600 million range to get their money back.
It's not looking good.
To start turning profit, that's where they want to be.
But you just know they expected to make that just off of it being the sequel.
The last one made $800 million. So I whatever they did in that film, boy, whatever they did in that film.
Oh, you still haven't seen it?
Nope.
I haven't seen it either, but I know what happens.
Gross.
I don't know why that keeps happening, but hey, it is what it is. The writer for the Ray film, Stephen Knight, was let go.
More Disney turmoil. Or just more specifically this time, Lucasfilm turmoil. I think that this is probably the early signs to let you know that film's not going to be a thing.
It's done for.
We haven't heard anything about it since last year. And the first actual official news we get from it is that the director is out. Like that's
a problem.
Does that bode well?
No.
Doesn't bode well at all. And the star still doesn't know what the hell's going on. So I think this is the first sign to them, letting us know that this is probably not
slowly making it's doing a Blade.
A good sign will be them, either they've kind of already done it, right? They've already started talking about the Mando and Grogu movie. We saw they gave us a little bit of that in Star Wars Celebration this year. So they've already kind of repositioned the Rey movie. A very good sign that it's not going to see the light of day is that they start talking about Mangold's movie seriously. If the discussions for Mangold's movie reached a level of the Mando Grogu movie, and we still haven't heard any updates as to what's going on with the Rey movie, that's as clear as a sign as you'll get, other than, hey, it's not happening. So.
Sure.
I don't think if you were going to bring Rey back, I don't think you bring her back third after the Mangold movie and after the Mando movie. It's just kind of like the distance at that point from anything that was relevant to the Lucasfilm world in terms of Rey is, what are you talking, 2019? Is that when Rise of Palpatine came out? Rise of Skywalker. But she's a Palpatine. It was, again,
2019.
19. Yeah. So you going to push this thing out to 2027, 2028? I don't think people are going to be that much more in love with the Daisy Ridley Rey character a decade later. It's not aging well now. I don't see it aging well going forward.
Rise of Ovaltine.
Rise of Ovaltine is crazy.
Shout out to Black Art 360. He's right. Get them likes up. Perp also said, shout out Terrifier 3 making $51 million on a $2 million budget and be completely unrated. Indies for the win.
Yeah, man. So I just started the Terrifier franchise. I made my wife watch the first one with me. And that shit is crazy. That shit is crazy. I think the horror genre has gone the way of like shock and awe over actually scaring people. But man, that was
in the case of Megan.
What is it?
Or viral in the case of Megan.
Sure, yeah, or just going viral. But that shit, it wasn't scary, but it was just like they took it to a new level of violence. It was some shit that happened in that first Terrifier movie that I don't think I'm going to put it on specifically because it happened. I just don't want to see that again. It was nuts. It was nuts. It's you should take a peek. It's on everything though. It's on what is it on? It's on Shudder.
I'm not putting myself through that.
It's on Tubi. I believe it's on Max as well.
Shout out Tubi.
No, we don't need to do that.
Shout out Tubi.
No, don't do that.
All right, last story. John Lithgow says that he wants to be a part of Shrek 5 as Lord Farquaad.
Let's do it.
I'm here for it.
I had only realized just now, or when you first brought that story up, that Farquaad never made another appearance.
Yeah.
But that's because didn't the dragon eat him?
In 2.
Donkey's wife.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, dragon eat
It's been a minute since I've seen 2.
So he might be dead unless she pooped him out or something.
Well, I'm sure they'll find a way.
They'll find a way to make it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a
yeah.
cartoon, so
I don't mind.
yeah. No.
Sure. Let's take it back.
I'm down with it for sure.
We can go back to Duloc if y'all want to.
Are you about to go back to Duloc?
Duloc is
I knew it.
Duloc is a perfect place.
Perp says Josh do it, and then Tony Robinson said don't eat while watching Terrifier. I'm not doing it.
I think you should just give it a chance.
I don't desire being mentally scarred like you just said.
No, I'm not
you are.
mentally scarred. I just, I don't want to watch it again. That's all. Oh, so for some reason, Exile Scooper is talking about Captain Marvel 3 / The Marvels 2. Supposed to be in early development. Do you guys want to talk about the synopsis?
Gross.
All right, here we go. No date set yet. Captain Marvel deals with the aftermath of Secret Wars in a new changed world / universe. Takes place in a new soft rebooted MCU. So this is all post multiverse saga.
Mm-hmm.
The villain is Rogue. I have a perfect Rogue casting, by the way.
Billie Eilish?
No. Will be released in the first phase of the Mutant Saga.
I did see that, actually.
I feel like it's kind of late in the game for the Rogue Captain Marvel arc. Just me. Feels kind of... Because, again, if we're doing this the way it plays out, if Rogue gets the majority of the powers that she uses on a mission per mission basis from Captain Marvel, the first superhuman she interacts with on her way to the Brotherhood of Mutants, right, Magneto and all that, then what the hell? Then that means that her powers are probably just now starting to manifest, which means we're going to be doing the thing where either the mutants haven't been around this whole time and their powers are just now activating, or mutants haven't been a thing in this world and now they're here. I didn't like the cop-out ways of introducing the mutants. Right? Like, we couldn't come out because of this, that, and the third. Wanda erased us. Give me something real. But, now all of the mutants from Fox are over here. And now Rogue interacted with Brie Larson, with Captain Marvel, and now she's got the super strength and flight and all this other shit. It's too late for that. It's too late for that, and I don't want you to be dependent on old versions of these characters forever.
And then mutants were already a thing in other universes, so how do you explain that
there's no mutants here? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, where the hell have you been? If Rogue's just now getting her powers, then how do Scott, Jean, Storm, any of them,
without a peep of anything?
Unless we're doing heavy retconning, which, again, I don't want to do. Tell the X-Men story the way it's supposed to be told.
Yeah. Plus, how do we have a Captain Marvel 3 synopsis and nothing about Black Panther 3?
Don't ask questions, bro. Don't ask questions.
Captain Marvel 2 just came out, so I'm just...